1991 Peugeot 205 GTI. As you can see, it's in laser green. It's my favorite color on the 205. It does look a bit paler in this light on the camera than it is, but it is proper laser green. It's all one panel, all one color. You'll see on the photos that the correct color. It's more just these horrible fluorescent tube lights. We'll start by having a look at the bodywork. So starting on that driver's side, a bit of dust there, but actually the driver's side itself, driver's wing, it's all nice and clean. There is a small stone chip there that's been touched in. Inside the arches is all nice and clean, as you can see, all the correct colour and everything. Going down that driver's side, you can see it's nice and straight. There's no dents or dings or anything on it. A little tiny mark in the paint again that's been touched on the leading edge of the bonnet. Obviously it is really a 30-year-old car now. All the red trim down the side is correct. It's nice and straight. It's not peeling off or anything like that. The sills are nice and clean. They've not been rammed up curbs or anything. There is a small mark in the paint at the bottom of the door there where it's been sort of coloured in and matched in, but it is solid. It's had a repair at some point there, but it is nice. And again, coming along that, it's all nice and clean under there. Rear driver's side arch, again in there is lovely and clean. Really nice and clean. It's on the 1.9 Goodwood alloys. So just give you a bit more diameter. As you'll see from the ad, this has got a 3-litre V6 from a 406 coupe in it. So more than double the horsepower, so you'd be thankful for that, really. That rear quarter again, all nice and straight. The red insert's nice and straight. That's not faded or anything. Quite often you find a few issues around the barge and the fuel cap. But again, that's all nice and clean. Having a look across the roof. Again, you normally find problem areas around the sunroof, but there's nothing to note, as you can see. On the rear, heated rear screen. Again, quite often this panel lifts or peels away, but again, that's sitting nice. Correct barging on the back. And again, the lower valance is all good. Obviously, it's got a custom exhaust with it being a different engine, but that fits in, it's not too loud or airy. Rear passenger quarter again, all nice and clean. Again, you look down that side, it's nice and straight. It's all one colour. Doesn't look like it's had a lot of paint work. I've listed in the description that it was an insurance write-off a few years ago. It was literally for this panel here. It got a dunch in the back end. As you can see, they've just pulled it out. It was a minor amount. But obviously at the time, the 205s hadn't started to rise up, so they were worth about 20 pence. So it would get written off for just about anything. Get on that rear quarter, all nice and clean, all nice and tidy around here. In that arch, again, super clean in there. It's only being sold because the guy that's got it's losing his garage and he couldn't bear the thought of it being out on the drive in the rain. All nice and clean on the sill there. Again, it's had that same repair on the same spot, but it is nice and solid. It's just sort of seam sealer that you can see there. Could do with a good clean. This is all dirt that you see in there. There's no real marks at all on that lower half. Again, no marks around the keyhole or anything like that, which again is quite rare. No marks on the wing mirrors or anything like that. Again, that front arch again in there, all nice and clean. It is on the front. It's missing the indicator lens, so you can see obviously it should have a clear lens on it. That's obviously been popped off or something like that at some point. So that one's replaced. You're better off just replacing that whole unit, nice and easy to get. Lower valance and everything on the front, nice and clean. And when they've done the conversion, apart from obviously a slightly different exhaust tip and those aero catches, which you'll see why in a second, you can't really tell it's anything different from a normal 1600 GTI. If we pop those up, you'll see why. So again, it's done a really nice job. It's all colour coded, but obviously you would have your bonnet catch on there, but that's had to be cut. So this is a bolt out panel. It's not particularly structural in any way, but he has left the majority of it there, but just due to the size of the engine, he's had to cut that out. But he has put a nice bead on it and everything, so he's done a nice job. While we're in here, we'll have a look around. So inner wings and everything, lovely and clean. All around the strap mounts and stuff, that's nice. Bulkhead, again, is immaculate. Plan was it was to be a show car, so obviously you can see he's got an extra length on it. If we have a look at the interior, so laser green outside, it does have the green interior. So you've got your green carpet, really dark green, and the green accents on the seats. Driver's side bolster does have a little bit of wear in it. Wants a bit of new foam. And there's a small rip there. But the rest of the seat's lovely and clean. If we look on the in the back, again, nothing really to report. I don't think it's had a huge amount of wear in there. There is a small tear with a bit of tape over it on the back of the passenger side rear seat. And the wheel, steering wheel thing's not too much in the way of wear. Dash top's all nice, no cracks or dents or anything in that. It's 111,000 miles on the shell. Obviously not the original engine, so that will be different. It is worth pointing out that the rev gauge doesn't work. Obviously because it's a different engine, it's a different pulse and everything. Speedo and everything still works, fuel gauge, all that sort of stuff. Revs not so much. He has relocated the battery in the boot, obviously plenty more weight in the front. So he's moved that to the back to shift some weight back over. Boot floor is lovely and solid. No sign of any corrosion or anything in there. I have driven the car, it's an interesting drive. It's obviously double the power. For me, it maybe wants a slightly heavier set of springs in the front because it's a little bit more weight. But other than that, it's great fun. The lift off oversteer you get on a normal 106 is arguably a little bit exaggerated, but still a good laugh to drive, perfectly controllable. That passenger seat again, could do with a good clean and maybe a bit of a steam to get them tightened back up, but there's no rips or any tears or anything in that. And at the rear, again, the carpets are all nice and clean. That rear seat's good. Black headlining, nice and clean. No funny smells or anything in there. Door cards on both sides are nice. It is definitely the best colour for a 205. Get it started up. Again, it starts and runs really well. Spent a good time doing the conversion. It's got custom engine mounts, all that sort of stuff. Again, it looks like it's meant to be in there. As I say, really fun car to drive. Definitely surprises people with how quick it is. If you've got any questions or queries, get in touch. We have listed on the description the write-off details. We have listed everything that's been done to the engine and all the changes. But if you've got any questions, like I say, get in touch. Thanks.